Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper.
Hello once again and a warm welcome back to my channel. I am 350. It is a Sunday evening, albeit a very cold and windy one as we're going through the tail end of a particular storm that's been hovering over the UK this weekend. So I've decided to put together another wine review, but I will be revisiting Bordeaux. Coming off the back of the previous review, I reviewed a budget Bordeaux, which ended up with a verdict that is neither great or neither mediocre. It is what it was, considering its low cost of entry, but not particularly doing anything that would particularly blow me away, in my personal opinion. But I wanted to try and go a little bit on the priciest end of the scale with Bordeaux. So I decided to go for a bottle of Chateau La Croix Taillefer from Waitrose. It is currently selling for just shy of £31, which is, yeah, it is pretty pricey for a red wine. So there is a level of high expectations that this should deliver. However, it can be very subjective. So it will be interesting to see how this fares up. So this is a Pomerol, which it is from the right bank side of the Bordeaux region, and it consists primarily of the Merlot grape, as well as a little bit of Cabernet Franc put into the mix. So it's an interesting one here. So yeah, so no Cabernet Sauvignon in this Bordeaux, but it is customary to, within Pomerol, they generally rely on the Merlot grape more than anything else. I'm going to go ahead and get this opened up. So if you bear with me, I will be right back. Okay, let's get started. So let's get an initial impression of this Pomerol. Just a generous amount, just to allow the wine to express itself. And alas, again, I've put it in a burgundy glass. Okay, so the colour's looking rather nice. It's 2020 vintage, so it's pushing 5 years old now, so it's getting to that peak drinkability age, in my opinion, that is. But the colour seems to be, yeah, it's like a ruby, slight hint of brown there as well because of the aging. Yeah, it's all looking rather to be expected. Okay, let me just get the sense of its nose. Okay, it's rather subtle. It's not grabbing me in terms of the perfume, but there's certainly something going on there. It's yeah, I certainly detect the oak from where the oak barrels that they've been stored in. Yeah, detecting a hint of leather, the traditional Bordeaux spices there. And there's something else. There is something else in there. I try to ignore the tasting notes. I think tasting notes generally will give you preconceived ideas of what a wine will smell or taste like. I like to just give it a try out of the blue without any, what do you call it, any expectation bias. So yeah, it's so far the perfume is very subtle. It's not shouty at all, and there's a slight floral note to it, which is rather interesting. So yeah, this is going to be quite a intriguing wine to try. So I want to give a sip now. Let's put it this way: the taste of the wine, the delivery, is far more confident and upfront than its perfume, that's for sure. The mid and the finish is very noticeable. There's plenty of grip in there, that's for sure. Lots of structure. You can sense a lot of fruit in there, coupled with the oak as well. Yeah, it's a very confident Bordeaux, if that's the right term. That slight floral notes from the perfume continues through drinking it also. I sense there's almost there's almost like petal sense in there. I rather like it. It's subtle, but it works. I think it gives this particular wine its own voice. It stands out from what the typical full-bodied spicy Bordeaux's that you typically find at this price level. My first impressions so far are very positive. I am not surprised with given the price level and the pretensions of it being from Pomerol. It's got all the makings of a very high quality Bordeaux. So this is deemed as a right bank Bordeaux. So tasting characteristics, I would resist the temptation of simply pigeonholing a wine from the right, a wine from the left, having particular taste flavour profiles. You could say that right bank wines generally use more Merlot. There is a belief that trying to get Merlot to taste good in terms of having complexity and depth and structure is difficult without some assistance from other grapes such as your Cabernet Sauvignons and Cabernet Francs. So this uses some Cabernet Franc, but I don't know the ratio between the two grapes. But it is a very effective combination, that's for sure. I've been waffling away for the past few minutes now, and it leaves a little bit of a signature on my palate. I have to be honest. So I'm reminded of what I'm drinking right now, and it's not actually deterring me to drink anymore. I actually want to take another sip. In fact, would it go well with food? It could. However, in my opinion, this is something that is best enjoyed if drinking on its own, with company, of course. Share it with somebody. There is plenty going on, plenty of things in this wine to keep your brain busy. So there's that sense of intellectual reward going on in there, as well as the pleasantness of the wine. I'm just going to pour a little bit more. Let's see how it presents itself after a few minutes of breathing. I mean, if you really want to be a bit of a connoisseur with red wine, you would leave it to breathe for a little while. Some people would decanter their reds, for 30 minutes, even up to a few hours, even depending on the age of the wine and what type of wine it is. But yeah, this it's getting up to 5 years old now, so I think this is as good as it gets in terms of its age. I'm not entirely sure if storing it any longer will you get in more out of it. Maybe it's going to be at that point where, as I said, it's at its peak, so you're going to get to the point of diminishing returns if you were to store it any longer. But if you're patient enough, you want to pick up a bottle or two now, put it in your wine cellar or in your temperature controlled wine rack for another couple of years. Yeah, well, why not? But but at the moment I think it's plenty rewarding enough. I'm gonna have another sip. Interesting Bordeaux. Dare I say it there is the fruitiness. It's vibrant. It's got a bit of vibrancy about it, with that floralness. If a good above average Bordeaux is telling you about its characteristics, what it's about, this one, I think it sings it's just a little bit more melodic. There's something romantic about this particular wine. Dare I say, it's in a way similar to like a good Pinot Noir. It has that, it has that romanticism in its tasting profile. In my opinion, that is. I guess you could tell right now just the way how frequently I'm actually sipping this. Just is a testament to what I think about this wine. Yeah, it's a cracker. My recommendations is you can have it with food, but I think there's so much going on. It's best to just enjoy it without it. Or if you have to have it accompanied with something, maybe get some hard cheeses, a mature hard cheese like a mature cheddars, comtés, that sort of thing. But anything that's too oily, too fatty, like your Stiltons or anything of that, or a young cheese that could leave, it could coat your tongue. I would think it would impede your drinking experience of this particular wine. And in terms of general food and drink, general food, what meals you have it with, you have to just keep it light, keep it simple, nothing too bold in flavour or richness, and this wine won't be. You still better appreciate the qualities of this wine. So yeah, that is my initial impressions of this Pomerol. I highly recommend it. I understand £31 is a lot of money to pay for a bottle of red, but if you take into consideration that most pubs, bars, restaurants would charge between £6 to £7 for a mediocre screw top red wine, this will give you about 4 to 5 glasses. So you multiply 7 times 5, it's going to work out more than what you pay for this bottle of wine. And that's as you go to a restaurant or pub, you'll be drinking something far more basic and less rewarding than this. So I think it's a good value for money. It's not long until Valentine's Day, so again, I recommend maybe treat yourself to one of these. Preferably after you have had your meal. Maybe get something a little bit more modest to accompany your meal with, and then finish off after your meal with this Pomerol. And I am absolutely confident that it would make the evening even more cozy and enjoyable and rewarding. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a winner, I'd say, in my opinion. And I am glad to finish off on a high note with Bordeaux, as I've been particularly quite harsh on this particular region in my previous videos. Do you need to spend £30 to enjoy Bordeaux? I don't think so. You just have to be savvy and shop around and try a few Bordeaux's until you find ones that you are confident that will deliver. And consistency is also important. I mean, if they vary between year to year, you've got a bit of a problem where it may disappoint in one vintage, and then the next year it's great. One particular year will be superior to another, profoundly superior, and sometimes the supply and demand of the better vintages will reflect that. So yeah, again, 2020 Pomerol Chateau La Croix Taillefer is a recommended buy for me. And don't let the price put you off too much. If you as an occasional treat, say a Valentine's evening, it will go down great. Very rewarding red wine, in my opinion. So yeah, go for it. I would say go for it. Well, that's about it from me this evening. So thanks again for watching my review, and I hope you've had a great weekend, and I look forward to catching up all again soon. So if you like what you have seen, please send a like, and even better, please subscribe. It makes all the difference to my channel. So I am Free50, and I will look forward to coming back with you with more content. So watch this space, and I'll be back soon. Good night.